What if I told you, the less you do, the more she feels you? Yes, you heard that right. No chasing, no begging, no long messages or explaining yourself. Just your silence, your calm, your absence. And suddenly, she can't stop thinking about you. Sounds strange. Maybe. But this is the secret most men never learn. And it changes everything. The truth they never told you. Let's be honest. Most guys were taught a lie. They were told, always be there for her. Text her good morning every single day. Make sure she knows how much you care, even if she doesn't show it back. Sounds sweet, right? Sounds romantic. But here's what really happens. You keep giving, and she keeps pulling away. You try harder, and she feels less for you. Suddenly, you're confused. Why is she acting cold? Why is she distant? I did everything right. But what if doing everything is the problem? What detachment really means, and why it's so powerful. Now, I don't want you to get confused. Detachment is not about ignoring her. It's not about being rude, cold, or fake. Nope. Detachment is about this one powerful thing: choosing yourself first. That means you don't drop everything the moment she texts. You don't panic when she goes quiet. You don't chase love like it's air, and you can't breathe without it. You stand still, calm, strong. Even when your emotions try to shake you, you hold your ground. That, right there, is powerful. The magic of silence and space. Here's something women don't admit out loud. They feel your energy even when you say nothing, especially when you say nothing. When you're always around, always talking, always showing up. It's easy for her to take your presence for granted. But when you pull your energy back, not to punish her, not to play games, but to focus on your world, something shifts. She starts thinking, where did he go? Why does it feel so quiet without him? Did I lose something special? And boom, that's when her attachment system gets activated. And you didn't even say a word. You become the flame, not the moth. Most guys are like moths. They chase the light. They burn their wings trying to get close. But what if you were the flame? What if you were the one that pulled her in? Just by being. That's what detachment does. It turns you into the man she can't stop noticing. Because you're not chasing anymore. You're leading. Quietly. Powerfully. The calm she's craving. Here's what women really want. A man who is calm. A man who doesn't need her attention to feel okay. A man who walks with purpose, even when she's not watching. That calmness, that stillness. That's the energy that makes her feel safe. Not just excited, safe. Because if she sees you can control yourself, she starts to trust you, respect you, want to be close to you. We're just getting started, my friend. Because this is the first step to flipping the script. No more chasing. No more losing sleep wondering, did I say the wrong thing? You're learning how to let go. And in doing so, you're becoming more powerful than ever. You're not disappearing. You're stepping into your power. And believe me, she can feel it. Why the one who waits loses, but the one who walks wins? Ever noticed how the guy who waits around the most always gets left behind? And the man who walks away calmly somehow stays on her mind forever? It doesn't make sense at first, but once you understand this secret, you'll never chase again, because she'll be chasing you, wondering why you're not chasing her. Waiting is a trap built to steal your power. Let's break a painful truth. Waiting is weakness. It may feel like love. It may feel loyal. But most of the time, it's fear. Fear of losing her. Fear of being alone. Fear of not being good enough unless she gives you attention. But here's the thing. While you're sitting by the phone wondering if she'll text back, she's out living. She's not thinking the same way. And what happens next? You start shrinking. Your world gets smaller. You cancel your plans. You hold your breath. You become invisible. And women don't chase invisible men. Walking away isn't giving up. It's rising higher. Now let me be clear. When I say walk, I don't mean storm out. I don't mean slam doors or send cold messages. I mean walk with peace, with your head up, with your heart still open, but your eyes wide awake. You walk because your time matters. Your energy is sacred. And your life? It's too big to be lived in a waiting room. And when you do this, something strange happens. She starts wondering, why isn't he waiting for me? What is he doing that's more important than me? Who is he becoming without me watching? You become a mystery, and mystery is magnetic. The psychology of pull. Humans are wired this way. We don't want what's handed to us. We want what we think we might lose. So when you're always available, you're easy to figure out. Predictable, safe, but boring. But when you're not always there, not angry, not needy, just busy being you, that's when the game flips. She starts chasing, not because you're playing games, but because you stopped being so easy to get. You're not a boy. You're a man on a mission. Boys begin. Boys wait. Boys prove their worth by what they give. But men move, men build. Men focus on what they were born to do. When you act like your whole world depends on her love, you lose her respect. But when your world is already full, and you let her choose to step into it, she feels it. And that respect, that attraction, it comes rushing in. Your time is gold. So treat it that way. You only get 24 hours a day. You can spend it staring at a screen, hoping for a little text bubble to pop up. Or you can use those hours to work out, read, build, grind, dream, create, grow. You can spend that time becoming unforgettable. And when you do, she won't forget, because your silence will speak louder than any message ever could. Stop playing her game. Build your own. Most guys fall into her rhythm. They text when she texts. They react when she pulls away. They dance to her beat. But the real power comes when you stop dancing and build your own rhythm, your own flow, your own vibe. And trust me, she'll hear that beat from across the room, and she'll want to move to it, because now you're not reacting, you're leading. The man who waits, waits forever. The man who walks, walks into freedom. And once she sees you walking with peace in your chest and fire in your soul, she'll wonder why she ever let you go, and she'll want back in. Not because you begged, but because you became the kind of man she can't forget. Why purpose makes her obsessed? What if the reason she's not drawn to you isn't about your looks, money, or words? What if the real reason is this? You haven't given her something to join, something to follow, something bigger than her, that already owns your heart. When a man has purpose, he doesn't chase, he attracts. She doesn't want to be your purpose, she wants to join it. Here's the truth no one tells you. She doesn't want to be your whole world. She doesn't want you staring at her all day, waiting to be loved. She doesn't want to be your sunshine, your moon, your everything. It sounds romantic, but it crushes attraction. Why? Because if she becomes your only mission, then your life has no direction when she pulls away. That's scary to her. It feels like pressure, like too much. She wants to add to your life, not become your reason to live. What women crave, deep inside. Every woman, deep down, wants a man she can look up to, not in a bossy way, but in a powerful way. A man who's going somewhere. A man who wakes up with a fire inside. A man who doesn't need her but wants her by his side for the ride. When she sees you grinding, growing, chasing dreams, working on your body, your mind, your goals, she sees value. She sees something rare. She feels safe and excited. Because now she's thinking, can I keep up with him? Can I walk beside this man? Is there a place for me in his world? And that's when she attaches, fast. Most guys make her the dream. Let's be honest, most guys don't have a mission, so when a beautiful woman shows interest, they make her their new dream. They stop everything. They chase. They give all their time. They try to prove they're enough. But here's the twist. The moment you make her the prize, she stops wanting to win you. Because now you flip the roles. Now you need her more than she needs you. And that kills attraction. Build something bigger than her. It could be anything. A business, a passion, a craft, a vision, a legacy. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that it's yours. And when you start building it, day by day, hour by hour, you become more attractive without saying a single word. She sees you busy. She sees your glow. She hears that your voice has a different tone, calmer, deeper, confident. She starts wondering, why is he so focused lately? Why do I feel like he's outgrowing me? Why do I miss him even though he's not doing anything? And that's how it starts. Her attachment triggers in silence. Purpose turns you into a man. She respects. You don't get respect by begging. You don't earn it by buying gifts or texting paragraphs. You earn it by walking in your purpose, by being solid, grounded, unshaken. Because when life hits you and you don't fall apart, she sees strength. When you're calm, even when things don't go your way, she feels trust. When your mood doesn't swing based on her behavior, she feels safe. And what woman doesn't want to feel safe and excited around a man? Why being rare makes her chase. What happens when something rare shows up in a world full of copies? People chase it. They fight for it. They can't stop thinking about it. Now imagine you become that rare thing. Not by playing games, but by living with value so high. She's scared to lose you. The human brain craves. What's rare? Here's something crazy. The brain is wired to want what's not always there. That's why diamonds are more wanted than rocks. That's why limited edition sneakers sell out fast. That's why the last piece of cake always feels more delicious. Now, think about this in dating. If you're always texting her first, always showing up, always free, always giving, then where's the mystery? Where's the value? It's like offering her cake for every single meal. Sooner or later, she stops caring. She starts thinking, this is always here. I'll eat it later. And later becomes never. Scarcity doesn't mean ignoring. It means having a life. Some guys think being unavailable means ghosting her. Wrong. That's just childish. Scarcity is different. It's about being less available because your life is full. Not fake, not cold, but busy, purposeful, real. You're at the gym. You're building. You're spending time in silence. You're leveling up. You're not just sitting by your phone. And guess what? That natural distance, it pulls her in. Now she's wondering, why isn't he messaging me all day? Where is he right now? Who's getting his attention? She starts chasing, not because you tricked her, but because she sees you have something worth chasing. Scarcity plus mystery equals powerful attraction. Let's go deeper. The most powerful attraction doesn't come from words. It comes from energy. And when your energy is rare, when your attention isn't handed out like candy, she feels the difference. You walk into a room and you don't need to talk much. You don't force jokes. You're not loud. You're just present and calm. She watches from a distance. She leans in closer. She wants to understand you. Why? Because you didn't make yourself easy to read. You didn't overshare. You didn't chase. You gave space. And in that space, her curiosity grew. Most guys are too available, and it kills the chase. Let's be real. Most men answer every message in 10 seconds. They cancel plans just to see her. They give gifts too soon. They try too hard. And what happens? She gets bored. She pulls back. She says, "You're too nice." She starts texting less. She ghosts. And the guy is left wondering, what did I do wrong? Here's the hard truth. You gave too much, too soon. There was no space for mystery, no space for desire, no reason for her to chase. Scarcity creates fear of loss. When you're not always there, something magical happens. She starts to imagine life without you, and that thought scares her. She starts to wonder, what if another woman sees what I see? What if he forgets about me? What if I waited too long? And just like that, her mind starts to race. She checks her phone more. She rereads your messages. She misses your voice. You did nothing, and yet she's getting hooked. That's the power of real scarcity. Be the man who's hard to replace. It's not about being hard to reach just for fun. It's about being the kind of man who's valuable, even when silent. Your presence is rare. Your time is gold. Your peace is strong. Your energy can't be found just anywhere. And when she knows this, she starts treating you like treasure. She becomes careful with your time. She respects your space. She gives more effort because she knows she might lose you, not to someone else, but to your purpose. Control the storm, don't hide it. What if I told you the strongest man in the room isn't the loudest one? Not the guy shouting, not the guy flexing, but the one who stays calm while everyone else breaks. Women feel this calm like a magnet. And when a man holds his emotions with power, not fear, she locks in on him like he's the eye of the storm. Emotions aren't weak. Losing control is. You've probably been told to man up, right? Don't cry. Don't feel. Just shut it down. But let's get one thing straight. Being emotional doesn't make you weak. Being ruled by emotions, that's what weakens you. There's a difference. A man who hides his feelings out of fear, he's scared, confused, lost. But a man who can feel anger and not act stupid, a man who feels pain but stays calm, that man is dangerous in the best way. The ocean isn't loud, but it's deep. Think about this. The ocean doesn't scream. It doesn't beg. It doesn't chase, but stand too close during a storm. And you feel the raw power. Women are the same way with energy. They don't always hear what you say, but they feel your mood. They sense your calm. They notice your storms, even when you stay quiet. And when you can face stress without losing yourself, she sees a rock, a wall, a man she can lean on. Emotional mastery equals quiet strength. Let's say she pulls away. Let's say she tests you. Let's say she gives you silence. Most guys, they panic, they beg, they chase, they text too much. They say things they regret, but not you. You breathe. You pause. You respond, not react. You understand that her mood is hers. Her silence is hers. And your peace, that belongs to you. She sees it. She feels it. And now she's curious. How is he not freaking out? Why does he seem so stable while I'm spinning? What's inside him that keeps him grounded? Boom. Mystery unlocked. Attraction triggered. Calm is rare, and that's why it's valuable. In today's world, people get upset over anything. One wrong text, and it's drama. One delay, and it's panic. One challenge, and they give up. But you stay still, even when things shake. That kind of calm, it's rare, and rare equals valuable. She starts to think, if I had a man like that in my life, I could relax. I could stop being the strong one all the time. I could be soft because he's solid. That, my friend, is attraction on a deeper level. Not just surface stuff, not just looks, but the kind of attraction that lasts. She'll test you, but that's the point. Here's something wild. Sometimes women test your emotions on purpose. Not to be mean, not to mess with you, but to feel your strength. She might go cold for a bit. She might tease you. She might say things that sting a little. But underneath, she's asking, can I trust your energy? Will you break if I push? Are you as calm as you look? If you pass the test, she melts. She respects you. She feels safe. How do you build this calm? It's not magic, it's practice. Get comfortable being alone. Breathe before you speak. Stop needing to win every fight. Feel your emotions, but don't serve them. Sit with discomfort. Don't rush to fix it. Day by day you grow. You become stoic, not cold but clear, not hard but powerful, not silent but intentional. And guess what? Now she can't ignore you. Not because you're loud, but because your silence says more than words ever could. Real confidence, the kind she can feel without you saying a word. What if I told you you don't need to chase, flex, or brag to be irresistible? You don't need the flashiest clothes. You don't need fancy words. You don't even need to try hard. Because when real confidence walks into a room, she feels it without you saying a thing. And that changes everything. What is real confidence? Hint, it's quiet. Let's be real for a second. Most guys think confidence is loud. They think it means acting tough, showing off money, telling people how great they are. But that's not confidence. That's noise. Real confidence doesn't shout. It doesn't need approval. It doesn't need eyes on it to exist. Real confidence is quiet, calm, strong, like a mountain, like a lion that doesn't need to roar. Why bragging pushes her away? Have you ever seen someone try too hard? He won't stop talking about his job, his car, his watch, his gym selfies. It's painful to watch. And guess what? Women see right through it. It screams, I'm not enough unless I prove something. And that energy repels her because she doesn't want a man trying to impress her. She wants a man who's already impressed with himself, quietly. Real confidence says, I know who I am. The most attractive man in the room, he's not the one chasing. He's not the one proving. He's the one who's just there, solid, still, secure. He knows his worth. He knows what he brings. He's not worried if people don't see it. And that peace, that calm power, women feel it like heat off a flame. She doesn't want the guy begging to be chosen. She wants the one who's already chosen himself. Where does this confidence come from? Let's break it down in simple steps. Confidence isn't magic. It's not something you're born with. It's built like muscle. Here's how. Keep your word to yourself. If you say you'll wake up early, do it. If you say you'll work out, do it. Every promise you keep builds trust with yourself. Get good at things. Real confidence comes from competence. Get better at your craft. Learn skills. Level up. Let go of needing approval. You don't need likes. You don't need her texts every day. You don't need to be picked. Because guess what? When you're living your life right, people will notice, especially her. The I'm already enough energy. She doesn't fall for the guy trying too hard. She falls for the guy who's just living, the man who's focused, the one who doesn't force anything. Because that energy says, I'm not here to beg. I'm not here to prove. I'm already enough. And when she feels that, something inside her shifts. Her guard lowers. Her eyes linger. Her heart races. Why? Because you don't need her. And that's what makes her want you. Confidence pulls without speaking. Here's the secret. Confidence is felt, not spoken. It's in your walk, your pause before speaking, your steady eye contact, your silence when others talk too much, your comfort in being alone. When you have that kind of confidence, she starts watching you differently. She listens more closely. She tries to impress you now. She wonders, what's going on in his mind? That's how you trigger deep curiosity. That's how you pull her in without lifting a finger. Teach. Why she feels you more when you're not there. What if the loudest way to speak was silence? What if just by not being there, she started thinking about you more, missing you, craving you, feeling something she can't explain? Let's talk about something powerful, something most guys are scared to use: space. When you step back, she leans in. Most guys think they have to do more to be noticed. Text more, call more, be around more, give her everything. But guess what? That makes you feel easy. And easy never feels exciting. Here's a secret. When you give space, you give her time to feel, time to wonder, time to think, time to realize she misses your presence. Because guess what? People don't value what's always there. They value what they can't have all the time. Her brain reacts to distance. There's something strange that happens in the brain. When something important disappears, even just for a little bit, it grabs attention. Think about it. When your favorite show ends on a cliffhanger, when someone leaves mid-conversation, when your phone dies while texting, you feel it, right? You want more. That's what happens to her mind when you create space. Your silence becomes a mystery. Your absence becomes a question mark. And that question turns into attraction. Space is not about playing games. Let's be clear. This isn't about acting cold or being distant on purpose. It's not about making her chase just to hurt her. That's childish. This is about having a full life. A life so rich, so exciting, so purposeful that you can't always be available. You're not stepping back to get a reaction. You're just living your life like a man who has things to do, and in that quiet space you leave behind. She starts to feel you more. Why closeness needs distance. Here's something wild. Too much closeness kills the spark. Yes, even if she likes you, even if she says she wants to talk every day, if there's no space, there's no room to miss you. Think of fire. If you never step back, there's no air. And without air, the flame dies. But when you add space, the fire grows bigger, brighter, stronger. Space isn't the enemy, it's the oxygen. Space makes you a leader, not a follower. When you're not always available, you say something loud without words. I have a mission. I have goals. I'm not waiting around for anyone. That makes you different. That makes you rare. That makes her watch you from a distance, hoping to be part of your world. Because women don't want to lead the dance. They want a man who leads himself first. And your space? It tells her, I go first. My path matters. That's strength. That's power. Why she gets more attached when you're gone. Here's what happens when you create space. She replays your words in her mind. She wonders why you're not always around. She thinks about how good your presence felt. She starts to miss you, even if she doesn't want to. And that's when attachment begins. Not because you chased her, not because you begged, but because you vanished quietly, like a calm storm that left a mark. She felt something, and now she wants to feel it again. Stop trying to be always there. You don't need to answer every message fast. You don't need to be free every night. You don't need to explain your every move. You need to be a man with a life. Because when she sees that your world is already full, she wants to earn a place in it. And guess what? She respects you more when you're not always available. It shows you have standards. It shows you have discipline. It shows you're not afraid to walk away. Space equals peace, power, and control. Space doesn't just help attraction. It helps you. It gives you peace. Time to think. Time to build. Time to focus on your path. And that calm energy, it sharpens your mind. It clears your heart. It makes you powerful in ways she can feel. Even in your silence, you stop being reactive. You stop being needy. You become a man who moves like a mountain, steady, strong, still. Don't fear space. Use it, because the space you give becomes the emotion she feels, and the absence you create becomes the desire she can't hide. Stay calm while she gets emotional. That's your superpower. What if her storm is your test? She cries, she shouts, she pulls you close, then pushes you away. And while most guys panic, you stay still. You breathe. You don't fall apart. And suddenly, without saying a word, she starts to trust you more. Let's talk about the secret power of staying calm when everything around you feels loud. Emotions are like waves. Women feel a lot, fast, deep, strong. Sometimes they laugh and smile, then boom, tears, worry, silence, anger. Most men, they freak out. They say too much. They chase too hard. They try to fix it all. But guess what? That doesn't help. It actually makes things worse. Because when she's emotional, she doesn't want you to lose your calm too. She wants to feel safe. She wants to feel held, not with your arms, but with your energy. Be the calm in her storm. Imagine this. She's upset. She's crying. She says, "I don't even know what I feel." Most men talk too much. They try to explain, defend, solve. But a powerful man, he listens. He breathes. He says, "It's okay. Feel what you feel." And that moment becomes magic because you didn't try to control her. You didn't fight her energy. You just stayed calm and strong. Now she sees you differently. Not as a boy who panics, but as a man who leads with calm. Don't let her fire burn you. Sometimes, women test you without knowing. They ask confusing questions. They get moody. They push your buttons. Why? Not to hurt you, but to see who you are under pressure. Because if you lose control easily, you're not safe. You're not steady. You're not ready for leadership. But if you stay calm, she feels secure. She respects your strength. She wants to come closer, not because you fixed her feelings, but because you didn't get lost in them. Control is not hiding emotions. Let's be clear. Emotional control doesn't mean acting cold. It doesn't mean pretending you feel nothing. It means you feel, but you don't panic. You care, but you don't lose your mind. You listen, but you don't fall into drama. It's like a captain sailing a ship through a storm. The waves are big, the wind is loud, but he holds the wheel steady. That's what women want. A man who can hold the wheel even when emotions rise. Emotional control builds unbreakable attraction. Here's the secret. When you stay calm during her emotional moments, she feels seen, she feels safe, she trusts you deeper. And when a woman trusts you deeply, she attaches without even meaning to. She tells you things she hides from others. She lets you into her world. She wants your energy close, even in silence, because you gave her something rare, peace. And peace is the most powerful attraction there is. Most men can't do this. It's true. Most men can't stay calm when emotions rise. They snap, they yell, they cry harder than she does. Why? Because they never learned this one truth. A man doesn't fight emotion. He leads it. He doesn't push back. He doesn't run away. He simply holds his ground, like a mountain. Not cold, not silent, just steady. Build your calm muscle. So how do you stay calm? Practice breathing when you're upset. Take space before replying. Don't rush to fix everything. Ask yourself, will this matter in 5 days? And most of all, be okay with her feelings. You don't need to solve them. Just understand them, because the man who can sit with emotion without losing himself is the man she never forgets. Your calm is her magnet. She might not say it out loud. She might act tough or cold or angry. But deep down, she watches how you react. She feels your energy. She trusts your silence more than your words. And one day, she realizes something powerful. You don't control her. You control you. And that makes her feel safe to be herself. That's when the real attachment forms. That's when she stops testing. That's when she starts giving. Emotions are part of love. They're not the enemy, but only a calm man can lead through the chaos. So let the storm come. Smile, breathe, and hold your ground. Because when you do that, she feels something no words can explain. Why she chases the man who doesn't need her? What if the man she wants most is the one who doesn't need her at all? Sounds crazy, right? But here's the twist. Women feel safest around the man who isn't begging for their love. The man who doesn't try too hard, who doesn't seek attention, who is already full inside. Let's explore how genuine confidence triggers deep attraction without saying a word. You don't need to prove yourself. You know what most men do? They try to impress her. They show off their money. They tell big stories. They do anything to be liked. But that's not confidence. That's insecurity wearing a mask. Real confidence doesn't speak loud. It doesn't need permission. It doesn't chase praise. Real confidence just is. It walks into the room, and the room feels it. Confidence is quiet, not loud. Let's get real. The guy yelling about how great he is usually feels small inside. But the man who's calm, the man who doesn't rush, the man who doesn't try to be perfect, that man stands out. Why? Because women can sense when you're okay with yourself. You don't need their smile to feel good. You don't need their approval to feel strong. And that makes you powerful. She's attracted to a man who is whole. Here's a secret most men never learn. She wants to join your life, not become your life. If she feels like you need her to feel okay, she pulls away. But if she sees that you're already full, already happy, already focused, she wants in. Why? Because it feels good to be around someone who doesn't need fixing. It feels safe to be near a man who's grounded. It feels exciting, like she's discovering someone rare. Competence builds confidence. Let's break it down. Confidence isn't a feeling you just get. It's not a gift you're born with. It's built. Every time you do something hard, your confidence grows. Every time you follow your word, your power grows. Confidence comes from learning new things, finishing what you start, facing what scares you, getting better at your craft. And when you do these things over and over, you walk taller, you speak slower, you smile easier. That's what she notices. Not your clothes, not your watch, not your words, but your energy. External validation is a trap. Most men look for love to feel good enough. They want a woman to say, "You're handsome," or "You're strong," or "You're the one." But when you depend on that, you become needy. And neediness kills attraction. Because now you're chasing love to feel whole, instead of being whole and letting love come to you. So here's your mission. Give yourself approval first. Look in the mirror and say, "I'm proud of me." Even if no one claps, you clap for yourself. That's real power. Confidence makes you scarce. Now listen closely. When you're truly confident, you stop giving your time to just anyone. You stop chasing. You become harder to reach. Not because you're rude, but because you're busy living with purpose. And that's what makes you rare. She starts wondering where you are. She thinks about what you're doing. She imagines being part of your world, not because you begged for attention, but because you pulled her in with silence, strength, and self-respect. Words don't build confidence. Actions do. You can't just say, "I'm confident," and expect change. You act your way into it. Go to the gym when you don't feel like it. Say no when something doesn't feel right. Set goals and follow through. Spend time alone and love it. Confidence is a habit, and the more you live like a confident man, the more the world and she will feel it. Without a single word. Magnetic confidence is felt, not shown. Women don't want perfection. They want presence. They don't need you to be rich. They want to feel your self-respect. They don't chase your muscles. They crave your energy. That quiet look in your eyes that says, "I'm good, with or without you." That's what melts her heart. Not words, not gifts, not begging, just self-assurance. You don't need her to love you. You need you to love you. And when you show up full, strong, calm, focused, she feels it. She trusts it. She wants it. So stop proving. Start becoming. Because the man who doesn't chase is the one who's always chased. Peace pulls her in. The final attraction secret. What if the real magic wasn't in trying harder, but in being calmer? What if the thing that makes her chase you isn't how much you say, isn't how much you do, but how peaceful you are when you do nothing at all? Let's unlock the final secret. Peace is power, calm is magnetic, and stillness makes her feel something she doesn't feel with anyone else. Calm is what she craves. Let's be honest. The world is loud, people rush, phones buzz, everyone's chasing something. But imagine this. You walk into a room. You're quiet. You're present. You're calm. No need to brag. No need to explain. You feel good just being you. That calm energy, it's like gravity. She leans in without knowing why. Stillness makes you stand out. You don't need to dance for her. You don't need to win her over. You don't need to perform like other guys. Stillness is your power. It shows you're not afraid to be alone. You're not trying to control. You're not chasing approval. You're just here, breathing, thinking, being. That's rare, and rare is attractive. Peace means no pressure. Most guys make her feel this. Do you like me? Are we okay? Are we close? Tell me. Show me. It's heavy. It's pressure. And pressure pushes her away. But you let go of that need. You don't rush. You don't force. You don't beg. You give space for things to grow. And that space, it feels safe to her. Calm is strength. She can feel. A calm man is a strong man because you're not shaken by her mood, her silence, her tests, her doubts. You stay grounded like a mountain. And she feels that, even without words. Your peace says, "I'm okay," even when you're not. And that makes her feel protected. It makes her trust you, even if she doesn't say it out loud. Detachment brings freedom. Let's wrap it up with this truth. The more attached you are to the outcome, the weaker you become. But when you're detached, you're free. Free to walk away if it's not right. Free to wait without fear. Free to choose peace over chaos. That freedom is power. And power is attractive. Because now, she's not your everything. She's a bonus to a life already full. And that kind of man, he's unforgettable. Her deepest bond forms in your peace. You're not chasing her. You're inviting her. You're not proving. You're just living. You're not shouting. You're silent, but your energy speaks loud. Peace tells her, you can be yourself here. No judgment, no drama, no pressure. And that's what makes her stay. Not your charm, not your jokes, not your looks, but the way she feels around you. She bonds with the man who doesn't break. So here it is. When you're calm in chaos, when you're still in storms, when you're grounded, no matter what she does, she bonds with that. Why? Because it's rare, because it's safe, because it's what her soul has been searching for. And once she feels it, she doesn't want to lose it. You don't win her heart by chasing it. You don't keep her by controlling her. You keep her by being the kind of man who doesn't need to be kept, calm, focused, peaceful, living for your purpose, leading your life, standing strong in silence. That's when she attaches, without a word, without a push, without a doubt. And that's the final secret, my brother. Your peace is louder than your voice. Your calm is stronger than your chase. And your detachment? It's not distance. It's power. Now ask yourself, are you ready to become that man?